Hello and welcome to Andrew Broussard Watercolors. Today I'm going to be painting a larger painting on a 12 by 16 that I marked down to 11 by 14 pad of hot press 100% cotton. This is the New York Central. The other day I just threw together a random palette: Naples yellow, quinacridone, burnt orange, ultramarine, white, and black. And I would like to pursue that palette on this paper on a larger scene, and I'll probably base the scene off of this scene right here. It's just a simple photograph that I had taken, and I'm going to work from that. Just make sure we're in frame on the camera, and as always, you're always welcome to follow along, always welcome to sign your own name with whatever you do, whenever you follow along with anything. And you have my express permission to sell anything you paint whenever you follow along with any of my works. I want you guys to have fun and have money for art supplies. That being said, if you like this content, please consider supporting it on Patreon. Link down below. A lot of my full-length videos are now Patreon exclusives. And thank you all who support through there. I really appreciate it. It helps being able to buy different supplies, etc. All right, without further ado, I'm going to turn on my earbuds and I'm going to comment as I go through the painting. And the first thing, I'm just going to wet my paper so I can wash some color in. I'm almost wondering if I have a bigger mop brush to do this initial on these big pads. It should be good. All right. Ultramarine. So now I'm not quite like washing it correctly, I guess. But I'm trying to make strokes so that none of my brush strokes really show through. And I just want to leave it lighter on this side, so that's why I'm kind of focusing over here. I think I'll even grab some Naples yellow. This is the Winsor Newton Naples yellow. And we're going to do washes over this in the sky later on. So there we go. We'll start with that. And I'll use Naples yellow to block in the ground. Probably going to bring that horizon line up. Or this is at least the background trees coming here. And I'm just going to refer to it as orange at this point, just because it's a tongue twister, the quinacridone burnt orange. A bit of ultramarine. Orange. There we go. Get some colors and ideas. Now, the last time I used this paper, I did have some buckling during this phase. I'm not sure if it's just simply a symptom of larger paper is going to be more prone to buckling, which is common. I don't think it's a symptom of the paper itself, like the brand, but it's also 140 pound, which is the common thing people get. But I think a 300 pound wouldn't give issues, but then you're spending a lot of money. So let me pause this. I'm going to hit it with a blow dryer. Okay. Gives a little bit of idea of that color scheme. So let's see. I'm going to grab some orange. And I'll mix a little bit of Naples yellow in there. So my background tree line is going to be about here. Now in the picture itself, it's a cane field. But I'm fine with leaving it ambiguous, like with the ambiguity there of if it's distant trees or a distant just cornfield coming up right. And we're going to come back in later on, paint more into that. Let's see. So, composition-wise, there's a field shape right here. And then it comes into kind of this slightly raised area for the tree. And a little dip. And it dips down right here. Not quite a coulee, but probably just more areas kind of cut for just water running. Ultramarine mixed in. This is going to be the ditch. And then that same ditch comes around this way, which I think kind of makes it a little awkward compositionally. So it might be worth moving it on an angle instead of straight across here. Let's see, just mixing more of that dark from the blue and the orange. That's the shadow of the tree. Might scooch it over a little bit. I'm going to use Naples yellow to map out the foliage. What about here? I need to move it over a lot more. Right there. And my second tree. Right here. Usually I'm using a smaller brush to map them out, but I'm going to use this bigger quill at the moment just to kind of get an idea if this is the way to go with just kind of a larger brush at the moment for the larger paper. Naples yellow. All this Naples yellow is actually going to help create some easy textures early on. And I'll show you what I mean by that once we get to that point. But the Naples yellow sits a little bit more on top of the paper, which creates a surface where if you paint on top of it another watercolor, which it dries, you can move some marks around very easily. Okay, I'm going to mix the orange, a bit ultramarine blue. More on the Naples yellow side of things. Mix my dark. I'm going to grab some lamp black. We do have a little buckling happening right here. Okay. So it just takes a little longer mapping out on the bigger paper. All right, I'm going to pause for a quick dry off. All right. So I'm going to switch to that smaller Chinese brush that I cut down on an angle. I've talked about that in previous videos, so I'm not going to go into detail about it. This is the whitewash mixed with the Naples yellow. And that's going to be one of my kind of lightest points right here. Just in general, I really enjoy doing that, having that line somewhere in it. I'm not sure if I picked that up from Dennis Sheehan, but it's fairly common to have kind of those layers of light to dark going backwards, or at least in the genre I've been looking at. Oddly enough, Ivan Shishkin, the realist, is a good example of that. Looking through his painting, and as you go through the different layers from front to back, it goes from light to dark to light to dark. So I'm just having that Naples yellow with some whitewash coming in, just to start mapping out the lighter areas. Mixed a little bit of orange into that. A little too symmetrical. More on the orange side of things. Naples yellow. Let's look at those background trees, or, upright cane. Definitely more tree looking. Naples yellow. Lamp black. Okay. Orange with ultramarine in it. Okay, yellow. And brush here. Orange. Just trying to get this. Naples yellow. Let's do a quick dry off. All right, I'm going to do some overall washes. The overall washes kind of pull everything together more, and they help create soft edges. So let's first grab some orange. Pass over the trees. More on the water side of things. And we'll probably do a few of these washes throughout the painting. Lift back to the lights if you want them in the sky. And I can do that overall wash on the ground, in the foreground. Can't make any textures yet, or easy textures the way I want them to. I think I'll leave it wet right now. Naples yellow. So I'm mainly looking at the tonality and using the Naples yellow as a lighter tone, and then using dark mixes of the orange and blue, or just the black as the darker tones, and to create senses of depth with that. We're going to catch the light on the tops of these background trees. So I'm just putting the Naples yellow in there. Okay, orange and blue mix. Okay. Darker mix. Dark mix. Try not to put in like just a straight line for the dark, just to make it more organic. And also trying to work the whole painting at once so that the same level of energy and the same colors happening throughout. So I do want this one to be more muted. A little bit of ultramarine blue into that mix. Naples yellow. Still can't scratch back or wipe, not really scratch, but like move. There we go, a little bit, but nothing exciting yet. So, okay, there we go. Just getting some textures in place now. I'm just putting them in randomly. And I know we could be more serious with them and put more important information in with them. But I'm still kind of in the pushing around phase. And I know I'm going to wind up doing this again and again a few times. Lamp black. Just get some more texture in there. Bring some of that black over onto the other tree. Put in a lighter application. All right, my dark mix. Okay, I'm going to do a quick dry off. All right, more or less dry. I want to get some fresh water. Okay. I think I want to spend some time with gouache mixes. I'm going to do the Naples yellow and the gouache. One more on the Naples yellow side of things. Now, unfortunately, one thing I've been battling is the gouache mixes dry lighter than the application, and at times I want them to be heavier and opaque. So, I'm still searching for a solution there. There we go. This one has a sharp edge to it, this brush. It's just cut bamboo. So Sometimes it doesn't scratch the best, but here it's doing great. Okay. All right, let's see. Here is the orange mixed into that. Okay. Mixing my dark. All right, just, texture. I'm gonna let them go with the contour of the land. Ultramarine with the orange. This is more for the background trees. Stamping it in just so we can maintain textures instead of just a wash in those spots. All right. Okay, so at this point it's kind of back and forth. I think I'm going to do a dry off and do a wash over the whole painting. Okay, now that I hit it with the blow dryer, I want to wash, I don't know, I think I'm going to go with ultramarine. Naples yellow. Cleaner water. Ultramarine. Orange. Orange. Okay, now we'll do a dry off. Okay, I think I'm going to stop this as part one because it's been, the big massive changes, the washes, all things like that. Well, I feel like I'm getting ready for more of the picking around phase and using a lot smaller brushes. So that being said, I'm going to stop it here and I will be back with part two. And part two might have big washes in it too. Just, I feel like we accomplished a decent amount today. And I will be back with more videos. Y'all take care, and I'll see y'all soon.